So I'm going to go ahead and get started. Thank you for joining us, everyone. This month is Stress Awareness Month. So here at Princeton Integrative Health, we thought it'd be great to discuss stress and how it relates to the different modalities and services and programs that we provide at Princeton Integrative Health. My name is Krista Gervon. I'm the Communications Director, and I'm joined today with Regina Schoenberger, and she's our cannabis educator. So thank you for joining us. And I'm going to go ahead and get started with our questions. Regina, unfortunately, when I had to close everything down, I wasn't able to get the questions. Can you go ahead and just start telling us how cannabis has helped you with your stress management and how it can help others as well?
Oh, there we go.
Sorry. Okay. Did you hear everything that I said?
No, I'm sorry. It was frozen for a few minutes.
So I was just saying, I introduced us, but then I also wanted to just ask you how you're our cannabis educator. So I wanted to ask you how cannabis, because that's what we're talking about today, how it helps with stress management in our lives.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you for having me. Again, this is our second installment. I really enjoy doing these. But my own personal experience, I'm a medical marijuana patient, and I've worked for Dr. Leonti, who's a registered physician in Pennsylvania and New Jersey for 2 years now. And PIH is a medical marijuana enrollment center, and it's a fully fledged integrative medicine center as well. But to look at how cannabis and other plant medicines help with stress, you want to start by looking at the endocannabinoid system. So absolutely fascinating. Every living being with a vertebrae contains an ECS, and the endocannabinoid system is made up of 3 components. So you have endogenous cannabinoids, which are cannabis-like substances. They're found in plants, phytocannabinoids, and they're also produced in humans. So we're going to talk a little bit about anandamide, which is an endocannabinoid that is produced. This system is also made up of the receptors that phytocannabinoids interact with. So the CB1 and the CB2 are the prominent receptors, and we're discovering new receptors all of the time. It's quite fascinating. These receptors, they're found all on our organs, the surface of our cells, and our tissues, and the enzymes that break these endocannabinoids down, which are important as well. So when you're talking about using cannabis to target stress, a perfect example of this is CBD. So I just touched base on anandamide. This is it's an endocannabinoid we naturally produce. It's nicknamed the bliss molecule. It plays a key role in improving our mood and the way that we feel, which is why it's nicknamed the bliss molecule. There's an enzyme in our body that breaks this down. It's called FAAH, fatty acid amide hydrolase. And when we consume There we go. I'm sorry, Krista, I missed after I left off at using CBD to stop FAH from breaking down anandamide. I lost you.
I'm so sorry. I don't know why I'm having these technical difficulties.
No worries, but I'm not even just using CBD. Cannabis plays a role in our deep sleep cycle, and people that have anxiety and depression, lack of sleep goes hand in hand with that.
I'm back again. Sorry that keeps happening. In the future, you can just keep on going. As long as everyone else can hear you, that's the most important thing, because you're giving all the information, right? So I apologize on my end. I'm not sure what the issue is, and of course, we're live. So the beauty of Zoom in a pandemic era, we always have to deal with things like this, but I do appreciate everyone's patience.
Yeah, no
Yeah.
problem.
Not sure where you left off, but if you wanted to go, yeah, how things can help, how this can help with anxiety and
Absolutely. So, let's run through this again. We're talking about how we can use cannabis to combat anxiety, depression, reduce stress.
Oh,
We talked a little bit about the endocannabinoid system and when we consume these phytocannabinoids, how they naturally interact with the endocannabinoid system. CBD is showing promising benefits in combating anxiety, and not just anxiety. When we consume CBD, unlike pharmaceuticals, we're not getting a host of side effects that happen. So say we're using and I just want to reiterate the terpenes of the plant, those aromatic compounds, they possess
ooh.
medicinal properties as well. And they, oh, I think, hi. If anyone's on, if they could mute their mic, thank you. But yeah, so looking at the endocannabinoid system and consuming the different phytocannabinoids and how they interact with this system plays a key role in reducing stress.
thank you. I'm so sorry again.
No, it's okay. No worries.
So yeah, if someone was interested in learning more, what would be your first piece of advice to just get started, I guess?
Yeah, so there's several resources out there that I highly recommend. Leafly.com, it's like the encyclopedia of medical marijuana. You can look up different strains. I also recommend the National Institute of Health, where you can look up different research studies that shows how CBD can help reduce anxiety, how it's neuroprotective, and how it promotes sleep as well. And also, booking a discovery session with Princeton Integrative Health with myself or Dr. Leonti, so we can talk to you a little bit more about the medical marijuana program, about hemp-derived CBD, to see if this would be a good fit for you. Also, the great thing about Princeton Integrative Health is that they look for the root cause of anxiety and depression, not necessarily just putting a Band-Aid over it. So cannabis is great in helping, of course, reduce anxiety, but it can help improve sleep, help stop night terrors that might come along with people that have post-traumatic stress disorder. And not only just using cannabis, but combining it with other herbs and other plants. So for instance, I'm a medical marijuana patient and I have chronic pelvic pain and IBS, but my pain is cyclical. It's around when my period strikes. So I also have anxiety. As soon as I start to ovulate, my anxiety starts to shoot through the roof. Using functional medicine testing through Dr. Leonti, I took the Dutch test and I was able to see where my cortisol levels are. So for those of us that are unfamiliar with what cortisol is, it's a hormone that's produced in the adrenal cortex, and it plays a huge role in our stress. It's in our stress response. It's dumped into our bloodstream when a stressful event happens. And when we have too much cortisol in our blood, we experience things like anxiety, weight gain, we can have cardiovascular issues, heart palpitations. So through this functional medicine testing, I was able to see where my cortisol was. I'm incorporating my cannabis, but then I'm also using functional herbs. So for instance, Dr. Leonti, he recommended a supplement. It's a hormonal and herbal supplement called Cortisol Manager. And it has a blend of different anxiety reducing plants like ashwagandha, L-theanine, which is a naturally occurring amino acid. It's found in green and black tea, and it can help calm the body. And magnolia bark. There's studies that show that magnolia bark, it can actually reduce cortisol levels in the body. And
Sorry about that.
There we go. No, that's okay.
Are you, did you complete the last section that you were talking about? Okay.
Yeah, we talked about using functional medicine and combining other plants and herbs, not just cannabis, to reduce stress and anxiety. And also, cannabis possesses strong synergistic qualities. So when you combine cannabis with other plants and herbs, it can actually maximize the effects, whether that's reducing anxiety or even targeting chronic pain. So cannabis, when combined with other functional plants, it's a powerhouse.
Yeah, I love that it's not just the cannabis that we're talking about really today. It's all plant-based types of herbs and things like that that can help with stress, sleep, anxiety, and all the things that disrupt us from living our daily lives in the best way we can possible. So thank you so much, Regina, for all of that information. And again, I apologize for the technical difficulties on my end, but I do appreciate all of that information, as do our viewers. I wanted to also I think you mentioned it earlier, if anyone has any interest or questions about this further, please call us to schedule a discovery session. They're free, they're 30 minutes long, and you can learn more and ask all the questions that you need. Our number is 609-512-1468, and you can email us at info@princetonih.com for any other questions you may have. And again, I love that we're talking about stress and the ways in which a natural integrative approach to health can really help, not just with any physical health challenges we're going through, but also stress and anxiety that we all experience in life, no matter who we are. So I appreciate, again, all of the information that you shared today.
Thank you, and thanks for putting these together. I really enjoy educating people on cannabis and plant medicine. I'm very passionate about it. And we put on events all the time. So if you check out our events page on the website, I collaborate with Dr. Leonti and other physicians in the area where we talk about different topics like hormones and using cannabis and sleep. We're doing a sleep series, and I really love how functional medicine just brings you back to the basics.
Yeah.
So yeah, check out our website. Like Krista said, email us. You can book a discovery.
I'm done. Yeah. Oh, I was just putting in the chat because I figured I was going to get back, but I wanted to mention tomorrow we are going to be talking about stress and nutrition. So please join us tomorrow. I'm going to make sure that my issues, whatever they are with Zoom, are resolved so that this doesn't occur again.
And Krista, I'm actually really excited to watch this because, I'm in my early 30s now, and for so long, it's like I'm unstoppable, I'm undefeatable. This.
Can't really go on.
That's what was missing. Vitamin B. I feel great. So I'm really excited to hear about how nutrition can help combat things like stress and anxiety. So thank you for having me.
Thank you. And again, I'm so sorry for the technical difficulties. I was just checking on Facebook to see if we had any questions, but it doesn't look like there are any. So I'm going to let you all go, and thank you again for joining us. Hope to see you in the future events. And yeah, have a great day, everyone. Thanks, Regina.
Thanks, Krista. Bye, everyone.